Hey, what's going on, guys? I'm Brittney Gantz at the Gantz Group.
What's going on, guys? It's Andre the 713 Realtor with the Gantz Group at RE/MAX.
And we are the Gantz Group.
We're the Gantz Group.
We are the Gantz Group. Hey, what's up, guys? I'm Brittney Gantz at the Gantz Group, and today I just wanted to be real with you guys and hop on and chat about what they really don't tell you when you first go into real estate. So I have some topics I want to discuss with you, but first, just let me give you a background on who I am, right? I'm just some random person talking to you, right? So I graduated from the University of Texas in Austin in 2011. And I got my finance degree there. Then I went to work for a corporate job for about 5 years. I worked there and it was pretty good, but they worked me like a dog, okay? I was worked to the bone. I didn't get a lot of breaks. I mean, I was at the computer all of the time. And so I moved up pretty quickly in the company to a senior financial analyst within that 5 years, being in my 20s. But then they put a cap on me and they said, well, we don't think that you developed enough to move into your next role. Mind you, I was already doing the work for the next role. Even the manager or the boss even noticed. So while I was going to UT, I always had this interest in real estate. I didn't really know a lot about it, but I was like, man, I would love to get into it, right? I hear it's pretty profitable. I hear there's a lot of things you can do to help people. So let's get into it and let's see what it's about. So I went ahead and paid for some classes at a conference that they were having. And over the course of me getting my degree in finance, I decided to go ahead and do these classes as well. So once I graduated, I had a BA in finance and I also had a real estate license. Now, for me, it was just a matter of which one was going to take off first, right? And of course, corporate America took off first because when you first go into real estate, it is an entrepreneurial role. So that'll be my first topic we'll talk about. So as a realtor, you are an entrepreneur, you are a business owner. You have to do everything that includes your marketing. You also have to go ahead and do the showings. You have to go ahead and transaction coordinate all the deals. You have to get your own leads. You have to pay for all your data and devices that you use. It can be quite expensive when you first go into business, but it's worth it. Trust me. Just hang on in there, okay? So yes, it is an entrepreneurial role. You do have to be sponsored by a broker, and brokers are like RE/MAX, Keller Williams, all those big names. Those are your brokers. So the next topic that people don't tell you about is leads, right? How do you get your leads, or where do they come from, or do they just come to you and you just sit down and sit on your butt and not do anything and you get a whole bunch of leads, right?
No, 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 hell no, no.
That is not true, guys. Okay, so the truth is you have to go out and find your own business with any entrepreneurship role, right? So that means you got to find your avenues that works for you, whether it's social media or cold calling or the numerous ways that you can find, clients in this business. So yes, you have to get your own leads. Honestly, it's best to get with a broker that can help you and teach you how to create leads, because you don't want to have to be dependent on anybody for this. So if you can do this on your own and you can learn how to do it and your broker is going to teach you, by all means, find a broker. That should be your number one question with a broker. Okay, so moving on to our third topic. Do I get off days? Or do I get vacations? Or do I get holidays off? Technically, as an entrepreneurship role, womp womp womp, you're never off, right? It's a 24/7 gig. You never have a day to where you can just say, oh, well, I'm not gonna work today, and people will still call you. People will call you at 9 o'clock at night. People call you on Sundays at 7 o'clock at night. It's just 24/7. Now, once you become more experienced in the business, you can set your business hours just like any other entrepreneur. You can say, hey, I'm only gonna work Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. and then Saturdays from 12 to 6 p.m. and then Sundays I'm not working. Or you can say on Sundays I'm gonna work, but I'm not gonna work on Saturdays. At the end of the day, you're gonna have to set your boundaries. Whatever your boundaries are for you, right? Everybody's different when they come into this business. But the thing is about that is, you're gonna have to do it, because if you don't, you can be overwhelmed, you can be overworked, and it can drive you crazy. You can be at the point to where you want to break and don't want to do this anymore at all. So just keep in mind that it is a 24/7 gig. It is not like you know, your regular job where you have the weekends off. Now once you can become more established in your business, you can dictate your times. Alright guys, so let's talk about your expenses and how much money you're gonna need up front to jump out and do this thing, right? I recommend that you jump out and do it full time and not part time. Reason being is because, for one, anybody that you work with in this industry is going to be working from 9 to 5, okay? Not after your 9 to 5, not from 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. You have to coordinate with these people all day during the day. So I recommend jumping out doing it full time. Yes, there's some agents that have had success doing it part time, but trust me, it's really hard, okay? So my number one recommendation would be, let's save up 6 months worth of expenses. And this is just expenses for your life, right? So let's say your total expenses for rent, car note, insurance, food, lifestyle. You know, when I went into it, I took a lot of sacrifices. I got a little apartment that I didn't like. I hated that apartment. And then on top of that, I had to say, no, I can't take any vacations. No, I can't go out to any bars. No, I can't drink. No, I can't do anything, because I was so serious and focused about starting this thing. So let's say your monthly expenses were $3,000. You're gonna have to save 3 times 6, which is 18, if not 36. And you're gonna need that money. Let me tell you, because going into business is not cheap. You have to pay for your licensing. That's about $1,200 plus. You have to pay for your car. You gotta have a car. It has to be a good car. It has to be a nice car. Let's not forget that. And it also has to be reliable, okay? You gotta pay car insurance. This is a business expense. You gotta pay for marketing. How are you gonna get business? How are you gonna get leads to convert to dollars? You gotta pay for that. You gotta pay your broker fees. And those aren't cheap. Nobody likes to pay them, but they're not cheap. You gotta pay for that. You gotta pay for gas. You gotta pay for your CRM. Gotta be using a CRM, hint, 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 customer relationship management system. If you don't know what that is, go Google it, go find out, because that's the lifeline to your business. You gotta pay for that. You gotta pay for your branding. You gotta pay for your logo. There's so many things you have to pay for altogether. You will probably be looking up front $3,000 to $5,000 to start your business from scratch.
Damn.
Okay. Now, you can always go join a team. If you wanted to join a team, your upfront costs are not going to be that expensive. You know, you're going to get a lot of things paid for by the team, okay? So that's an option for you. If you're looking at getting started, you're welcome to join a team. You're welcome to join my team, the Gantz Group. If you ever have questions, we can definitely help you with that. But let's get back into why you need to save these things, right? So if your monthly costs are that, then save it up. And trust me, I needed it. My first 6 months in business, and mind you, I made about 6 figures my first year, okay? My first full fiscal year, I made 6 figures. But the thing is, my first 6 months in the business was very hard. I was closing 1 to 2 deals a month, and that still wasn't enough to sustain the cost of the monthly fees on the business, and also the cost of the monthly fees of my personal life that I needed to eat and all that other stuff. So just keep in mind, you're always as good as your next deal. You're only as good as your next deal, okay? So these are the reasons why you need to save this amount of money up. You always want to have a cushion, and that is my best advice that I can give to anybody looking to go into real estate. Jump out there and do it and save up 6 months worth of expenses. So you're a new agent, and hooray, you finally made it. You got your first client. You got them under contract, and now we're shooting for closing 30 days from now, or whatever it may be. If it's new construction, 5 months, whatever. Let me tell you this, it's great to be going on that high, but you're only as good as your next deal. A deal can break for any reason and not close, and you don't get paid, okay? And that's is the truth. So you may have a deal on the table, and all of a sudden, you know, they don't want to go through with the sale of the house or the process because they don't want to make the repairs, and the seller doesn't either. So guess what? We have to start from scratch and start all over and find another house. So it takes 30 to 45 days to close on a house, which means it takes 30 to 45 days to close on any deal, okay? So if that doesn't go through in the first 7 to 10 days, you got to start all over, and then now you're adding on time to your 30 to 45 days. Now you're at 60 days, right? Another thing is the buyer, if you're working with buyers, they may not get approved, right? So let's say they get pre-approved, they get a contract on a house, they go through the underwriting process, and boom, they go out and get a credit card, and now the lender is saying, we're not giving you no money because you like to spend money, and we want you to have money left over for this house. So guess what? The deal falls through, right? Or let's say that you're working with a seller. You get that title commitment back, and they have all kind of liens on their house. They got about 10 liens on their house, and they don't want to sell their house no more because they have all these liens. Deal falls through, you don't get paid, right? So that's some of the things that can happen. You always want to be prepared. This is why you get 2 to 3 more deals than what you truly really need, because things may fall through. All right, so the next thing we're gonna talk about is, this is a contact sport. And what do I mean by that? Contact sport means you gotta call people, you gotta text people, you gotta reach out to people that you do not know, you gotta get cursed out, you gotta get all kinds of crazy things happening to you to meet people, potential people to, you know, work with. So it's a contact sport. You're constantly on the phone 24/7. You're constantly texting. You constantly email. You want to use all forms of communication, right? Because you just never know how somebody likes to communicate. Sometimes it just may be to do your DM on Facebook or Instagram. It just really depends on the person. So it is a contact sport. So you can't be scared to call people and talk to people. So if you are an introvert, this may not be the best thing for you. If you are an extrovert, you will thrive in this field. Introvert, extrovert, you may work, because sometimes, you know, you like to be extroverted, you like to talk, like to communicate, and then you have your moments where you just like, I don't want to be bothered. I get it. That's me all day. My last bit of advice is that you have to look the part, especially when you're going to see clients, you're doing any kind of video filming, you have to look the part. Whether you have made it to where you want to be or whether you are trying to get there, looking the part, it is an image business, is big here, right? Because if you don't look the part and you pull up in an old Pinto car and people are gonna look at you and judge you like, they're not closing any deals. Can they close my deal? Oh, I don't know. I'm gonna probably choose another realtor. Okay. So that was what I had to say about going into real estate for the first time. It can be very tasking for a beginner, but if you stick in there and you're consistent with everything, you're gonna be just fine. Okay. Number one thing, though, I forgot to say. Boom, boom. Number one, you gotta put God first. If you're not spiritual or whatever, I don't care. I believe that God was the number one reason why I had success in this business. If you have any questions about being a realtor, we'd be more than happy to show you the ropes here. If you're interested in joining a team, we will be more than happy to help you. We'll show you the ropes, we'll get you training, we'll get you everything you need to get you set up so you can start generating your own leads today. So if you have any questions, please feel free to visit our Instagram. My Instagram is HoustonRealtorB online, or you can go ahead and finish watching any videos on this YouTube page. Like, subscribe, and comment, guys. We appreciate the love, we love you, and we hope that this video was very helpful for our new agent. Thanks.